We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Being that I live in Australia, we are, of course, ahead of the rest of the world, so it's already Wednesday here. But coming up tomorrow, US time, is the Mac Media event. And what can we expect from this event? Well, one of the big things is multitasking. Multitasking is finally... What? Multitasking is already on the Mac. It's the iPad that doesn't have... Supposedly, Macs already have multitasking, and it's the iPad that doesn't have multitasking. Right, well, okay. The next one is the MacBook Air. You all know about the MacBook Air. Mac's really thin computer that hasn't been updated for years. Well, my prediction is that the MacBook Air, they're going to get rid of the keyboard and make it touch. What?
That's the iPad.
That's the iPad. The iPad already doesn't have a keyboard and it's already touch. Okay. Right, moving right along. Blu-ray. Mac and Ray are going to finally get together. Okay, let's get serious for a second. So Blu-ray discs, I definitely think they do have to come to Macs, and with some additions and variations in the operating system, bringing it almost closer to iOS in some respects, may make this a more viable option. If you imagine a Mac Mini with a Blu-ray disc player and a boot up mode which is more like iOS, just has a kind of interface, a bit Apple TV-ish, but in the background there is a fully functioning computer that you can boot into if you wish to, but you don't have to. You put that under your TV as your Blu-ray player. I would get a Mac Mini in a heartbeat if there was an instant on option for it to operate as a kind of more of an iOS Mac TV type device. But then if I wanted to, I could, boot up a fully fledged computer if need be. But when you consider that things like if I wanted to use a keynote presentation, I can do that on an iOS device. So, I think there's a lot of scope there to bring a device that can kind of has the ability to act as a fully fledged computer and also has the ability to almost act as an iOS device. In the scenario, plugging it into a TV like that one behind me, obviously you're not going to be using touch on the actual screen, but you may control it with an iPad, iPhone or trackpad, so you may use the touch functionality. So touch, basically I think touch is going to come to the operating system. It is the way forward. It is a very natural way to use a device. So it only makes sense that Apple kind of try to lead the way and there are touch computers out there, but I think that, again, they usually have kind of skins over the top. And, from my experience in stores with some of those devices is, again, it's not an operating system built specifically to accommodate touch. How Apple are going to do that, I'm not quite sure. But I guess if I knew that, I'd probably be working for Apple. So we all know it's going to be called Lion. We probably won't see it on our computers for around 12 months. The MacBook Air, is it seriously going to get updated? Has the iPad superseded the need for an ultralight laptop? Many people travel with just an iPad now because it covers the basic tasks they need. And if you are somebody who needs serious power, you're probably going to take a higher end, a larger laptop that has the processing power you need. So the other thing is iLife 11. I would predict that it is going to come out early in the new year. It may come out for Christmas, but it'll certainly come out before the operating system, and it will supposedly have some revolutionary new features. I'm sure it will have some exciting new features. We've had things like the face recognition and places in the last update, and I'm sure that Mac won't let us down with some really kind of exciting stuff in the new release. what I'd like to see is that face recognition actually come to the iPhone, where it can actually, like augmented reality, actually pick up a face when you point it at somebody. Will save me remembering names. And then if that person's in my address book, it'll actually bring up all their information. But again, that may be a little bit further down the track, and it's getting back onto the iOS type platform. It's again exciting to see where Mac are going to go. So the event is coming up tomorrow morning, the 20th of October, 10 o'clock LA time. So keep an eye out for follow-ups on the event. Once we get the keynote, I will do a follow-up video talking about some of the things that have been introduced. I'm Simon from Tech My Life Video, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Lion. Rawr. So we all know that it is called... I look like I'll poke myself in that eye, don't I? Told you about it now. There'll be a bunch of about. Hi guys, it's Simon from